Today, in this Learnifier webinar, the topic is AI and the future of L&D. And we're doing this together with our friends from WeAre Learning. My name is Ulrika Peyron. I'm leading our content and communication efforts here at Learnifier. And yeah, I'm really happy to see that so many of you have chosen to hang out with us this morning. A question I often get is whether you will get the recording and the slides afterwards. And the answer is yes, you will get a follow-up email with a recording and the slides and also some other useful links. And you're always welcome to answer those emails if you have any questions or if you're interested in setting up a meeting with us. That's that for now. Let's take a look at the agenda then. We'll do a short intro to Learnifier. Then I'm going to hand over to the CEO and co-founder of Learnifier, Mattias Borg. He will speak about the role of AI in L&D. After that, Lars-Petter Kjos from WeAre Learning will show you what it looks like to create immersive learning experiences in their tool, WeAre. And after that, Diana Plantin from Learnifier is going to show you what it looks like to use the content that you create in WeAre in Learnifier. So you get both a bit of background and you get some practical insights. I hope that sounds good for all of you. I saw that we have some clients, but also a lot of non-customers on the attendance list today. So it's always good to give a short intro to us at Learnifier. And we are the leading learning platform in the Nordics. We're based in Sweden, but customers are to be found across the globe. And they use us to create learning experiences, training programs, and entire academies. And also to create onboarding experiences and develop the skills of their employees. When you choose to work with Learnifier, this is the happy team that you will meet. We're headquartered in Stockholm, but we have employees, all over Sweden, I would say, from Malmö in the south to Haparanda in the north. And we're about 35 people working at Learnifier. We believe in making training easy, engaging, and efficient to achieve business outcomes. And that is what we're trying to achieve every day together with the clients. And we work with many of Sweden's strongest brands. And we obviously also have clients in Norway. But that was enough of Learnifier. I'm really proud to have our friends from WeAre Learning here today. And Lars-Petter Kjos, who is their Chief Product Officer, that's going to show you what it looks like in WeAre, how to create those immersive, interactive, and visual 3D learning components effortlessly. We were recently awarded Best Course Authoring Solution of the Year. So yes, before we dive into the practical and the practical parts of this session, we're going to start with Mattias Borg on the role of AI in L&D. So I'm going to hand over to you, Mattias. Do you need me to stop the screen or you can just take over?
I'll just take over. Thank you. And good morning, everyone. Great to see so many people here joining this morning. And as Ulrika just said, what I'll do is that I'll take a little bit of a step back and talk about some thoughts and actually some beliefs what I think AI will play for such a role, or what we need to think about when using AI in learning and in L&D. So we'll do that for about 8 to 10 minutes before handing over to more practical hands-on shown by Lars-Petter of the WeAre solution. So I just want to kind of take this step back, because I think it's safe to say that we're entering what many call the fourth industrial revolution. We had the steam engine revolution in the 1700s, we have the electrics in the 1800s, and then the third revolution, kind of the IT revolution, started before I was born, but I was very much part of the dot-com revolution that happened in the late 90s. So I've kind of seen this hype cycle once, and I think it's safe to believe that there will be similarities with AI. The craziness that has been going on over the last 24 months since ChatGPT was released, then what I believe now is happening, where things are maybe settling a little bit, people are starting to talk, maybe this is not such a big thing. I'm quite sure it's going to play out similarly what it did in the dot-com era. You saw a lot of companies not making it, a lot of solutions that were tested that didn't work. But then magically, 10 years later, you look back and realize that everything has changed. And I think we'll see something similar this time, where looking back at these 10 years, it's going to be obvious that a lot of things have changed. But at the moment, we'll go through these cycles. And I think this is really a paradigm shift. And as this happens, I think it's good to take a step back and checking in on beliefs, because things are moving so quickly. And my belief is that when you need to make a lot of decisions, you need to be able to make priorities. And in my world, you make priorities out of goals and values, and those are based on beliefs of something. So that's kind of why I'm wanting to share some thoughts. These are my thoughts and our thoughts at Learnifier. You might have different thoughts. That would be very exciting. And please don't wait. Please write that in the chat and oppose. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to talk about it and follow up directly, but that'll start a discussion in the chat as well. So we're going to dive into these three beliefs that I'm going to briefly talk about. And the first one is around AI being a paradox for L&D. The second one being that people will be people still. And the third one is kind of leading into the rest of this session. And that is around winners will leverage their tech investments. And without further ado, I'll dive into the first one. So AI being the paradox for L&D. And what I think it's safe to see is that, or from my perspective, and that is a people perspective, I believe that AI will both be a threat and an opportunity. And I just showed you and talked about this being the fourth industrial revolution. We've seen these revolutions happen in the past. So what does this mean? Well, in the past, we can see that when we look at this chart, it's the red line, which shows routine work, and the blue line, which shows non-routine work, what we today often call knowledge work. And what we've seen in the past with technology evolution is that these two crossed. Technology replaces a lot of the routine work, but there is more knowledge work coming to it. I think it's safe to say that this will continue. But this time, something is actually different, because it's not only robots this time. It's actually, and you all know, ChatGPT, you tested things like that, large language models, etc. And what we see with this, the difference now is that it's not only routine work. This time it's also affecting knowledge workers. And I would believe that many of ourselves consider ourselves knowledge workers. And I would also guess that many of you have a large portion, or at least a portion of your company, that you would consider to be knowledge workers. So we really need to think about this. And when I then get back to the paradox that I'm talking about, that is that we are now at a point where we in the L&D field and the people field, if I will call it like that, at the same time have to be open to the possibilities of AI, which in many scenarios actually might replace jobs, existing jobs. And I think that'll be a challenging process, no doubt about that. But at the same time, I also think that this is, strongly believe that this is opening up opportunities where learning and growth will be more important than ever. And why do I say that? Well, if we're thinking about that, we're going to have to acquire a lot of new skills as the world continues to change. We know that in many countries, Norway is one, Germany is one, we have a similar situation in Sweden, for example, especially in the public sector, where it's super hard to recruit people. There are just not more people to be recruited. So what do we have to do if we need new skills and we can't recruit? Well, obviously grow what we have. So I think this is the paradox. At the same time, we're going to see AI replacing jobs, while we can also use AI to leverage existing people in the organization to help them grow. And I think that's really going to be the role for L&D going forward, making sure that we use these tools to make the most out of the people that we have in the organization. So that's the first belief. And I think it's foundational in the way we think about this, that not be scared, lean into it, even though it will be probably at times challenging and make us have to do hard decisions. So AI being both a threat and an opportunity from a people perspective. The second one, the second belief that I also think is important as we talk about AI in learning and development is that I consider myself being in the people business. I mean, we're all about making people learn and grow to their fullest potential. I mean, that's our daily job. That's what we're working together with many of you on, is to make people grow. There's something else where you make machines smarter and make them grow. That's called machine learning. That's something else. And we are in the people learning space. And why do I bring this up? Well, I think that we as Learnifier often talk about ourselves as a people-first tech company, and that is not just a catchy phrase. It means that technology is a means to achieve something. It means we use technology to help people grow. And what I think is important when we talk about that is that we need to remember that we are talking about people like you, like myself. What we're trying to do is to, as they get out of bed in the morning, have them change their behavior, use new skills. And that is tricky. People, and I think we all know this, tend to not change very fast. We're very slow in how we change. And I think that is still going to continue to be true. And it's easy to be swept away and think that technology is going to solve it all. No, we need to think about people first and how they will experience this technology. And I think this is super important. And I just want to add, like, one piece in this is that when we talk about changing people's behaviors or having them learn skills, motivation is obviously at the core of this. Many of you have probably maybe read The Drive book by Daniel Pink. There's a similar book written by Susan Fowler. It's also a great book. She's done more work in this area. This is really the foundation where you talk about the 3 driving factors of motivation. Daniel Pink talks about autonomy, mastery, purpose. Why I'm bringing this up, and this is not the end all be all for being people first, but as we start designing experiences, learning experiences with AI or other technologies, really thinking about how can I use this technology to create autonomy, the sense that the person, the participant in this learning experience actually can make some choices, because that builds motivation. How can we use technology to build mastery? The sense of mastery is really the sense. For example, by quizzing often, making them feel like I actually learned something. And the last piece, purpose. It could be connecting to the company's vision or mission statement at early in the learning experience, but it could also be that I'm actually doing this with people that I like and I have fun doing it. That's also a purpose of doing a learning experience and growing. So I think that this is the belief really being around, we have to think about people first, especially as we start using more and more technology and think about what we're actually trying to achieve here. The technology is a means, it's not the end in this. The last piece I wanted to talk about is winners leveraging their tech investments. I've seen this in the past, in previous eras of tech changes, and it's easy to get all hyped up with the new technologies coming out. And I think this is also a bit of a paradox, because to some degree you need to think longer term, and at the same time you need to try things out. And how do you do that? Well, we believe in helping our customers building what we call an agile L&D stack. What this means is that you want to be in a situation where you don't have to change your platform or system every 2 years. I think that not many of you really love that process where you have to switch out a platform or system. It's tedious, it takes a lot of time, and you don't want to do that too often. So you want to find something where you can build on it. But you also want to make sure that you can try out specific tools that meet your specific needs. So obviously, now that we're going to look at, for example, WeAre, you want to be able to try that out and start using that without having to change everything that you already invested in. So it's really about maximizing the value, having a solid foundation, and then building upon that, trying out different tools. And I mean, there's tons of tools. I'm not going to dive into it, but I think there's very interesting things that are starting to happen in skills mapping, which has been kind of a difficult area for many companies that need it, where you map skills or also, what do you call it? Do an inventory of skills. AI does some great things with that. There's a lot of automation going on. That's a very broad area. Well, you can read the different points, predictive learning analytics, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to throw this one out there and just see if you in the chat can write, what are you using today? And I think you can just start writing that. Are there any tools that you are using today? And maybe can share and inspire the other people that are here today and help them get some ideas. We're not going to cover tons of tools and stuff here today. I will mention 3 different pieces of like practical examples. The first one being around content creation, the other one virtual coaching, and the last one immersive learning experiences. So the first one is really what you, for example, can find in Learnifier, and there's tons of options for this. Just generating quizzes, content of different source that helps you in the creation process. And many might say, well, it's not perfect, it doesn't. No, but it speeds the work up. It makes you faster. And I think we're seeing great examples of this already today and how you can create content, both in Learnifier, but also in many other ways by using AI. There is also one of our customers has been using for some time now, it's a solution from a company called Mobile Coach. The company's Blanchard is an AI-driven chatbot, and it helps learners to apply their leadership skills. And you can see it helps them connecting with peers, reminding them of key commitments, having the tutor available after you've had the learning, like the full-on learning experience for a longer period of time, asking common questions, pointing to relevant resources, etc. This is something that we can then tie into a learning experience. You don't have to replace everything. You can just put this on top and add on to what you already had. And this is what I'm being agile, testing things out. Because once again, I think on a slide, this sounds great. I'm not sure that it would work for your situation, but that's what you have to test out. If you want more inspiration, I just want to kind of plug, not myself, but another webinar on September 12th with the amazing Linnea Sjögren, and she's going to talk specifically about some ways of creating courses with AI. Just wanted to plug that. You'll probably get info in the follow-up email around that as well. I'm just going to wrap things up as I've talked about these 3 beliefs of the paradox of AI, being people first, and then building a tech strategy where you can leverage your investments. And the last piece is that I want to come back to our mission, that we are all about making training easy, engaging, and efficient to achieve business outcomes. And I'm very happy today that I believe that our friends at WeAre Learning subscribe to many of the same ideas, really want to make it easy, engaging, and efficient. I think that is good as we now continue looking into that and see what Lars-Petter is going to present, seeing that these are tools that both makes it more easy, it makes the learner experience more engaging and also much more efficient in how both you can produce it, but also experience these things. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to the award-winning friends and to you, Lars-Petter. So,
that's great, Mattias. Thank you so much for that nice introduction. I will now share my screen here. Hang on 1 second. I guess you can see my screen now. So, interesting kind of reflections of this evolution that we've been part of. I started up in '98 doing learning from CD-ROM. So I feel I've been through some of these shifts as well, and I can really relate to a lot of what you just presented, Mattias. And we are super happy to be one of those kind of power plugins that you could plug into a Learnifier platform and to take advantage of some new cool tools. So let's just dig into it. So the need for better learning solutions is greater than ever before. And Mattias, you just showed us why. And we know that interactivity and immersive content that sparks engagement, they are key to great learning experiences. And I would like you to meet this guy here called John. This is an example. He has just gotten his first job working in a fashion store. We are in the retail business, and he has no experience working in a retail store, right? So the first customer comes in the store, and John is approaching this customer.
Hi there.
So what does he say? Can I help you? What can I assist you with today? Just let me know if you need any help. So John's doing his best. He is going to be polite, and he has to make one choice here. So let's start in the first one.
Can I help you?
No, thanks. I am just looking.
He left the store. But why?
Okay, so we know for a fact from retail that the way you answer questions to the customer will actually turn a high impact on the outcome on sales. So asking what we call open-ended question is what we want everyone to ask for all those thousands of customer meetings every day in hundreds of stores across the country, right? But you should not ask question that the answer could be yes or no, because at least men in a fashion store will tend to always ask no if they're asked for help, because we hate that situation going in buying clothes. So let's make John try another one.
What can I assist you with today?
Well, I was looking for a new sweater, actually.
And then the conversation starts going, and we know that will increase sales. And for a retailer, this is super important to have all the employees trained for and understand, so that they can have a better income to their stores. So we know this. Why isn't immersive learning more in use? Well, firstly, production of doing this kind of stuff is highly time consuming. And secondly, we know that production is also highly expensive. And finally, we know that production is something you can't do yourself. It needs external expert competence. Okay, let's meet Nina here. Nina, she works as a learning designer, an instructional designer, a content creator, whatever you call it, right? And when Nina is about to create a course about something, she really wants to engage the audience, her employees. She wants to make a difference. She wants to, all the hours that she's going to put into this, she wanted to have an effect. So she starts thinking about all the cool things she wants to do, maybe make a 3D simulation, make even a learning game or something, right? And then reality kicks in, and she looks at the budget and looks at time, and it's like, what? I can't afford that, and I don't have the time. And she peeks at her budget, and it's just like, what can I do here? And I have to deliver this super fast. So, well, maybe the good old slides will do. But Nina, what if you can have both? Right? Both the immersive experience at time and cost. And when Nina figures out she can, she will be super happy, right? Because this really opened up some really new cool doors for her. Oh, she's over the top happy actually here. So that is why we are. So we have built a tool that anyone can create engaging learning experiences. We have built it on a highly affordable SaaS model, and we don't need external experts. You can do it yourself. And we have done this with a lot of help Oh, AI. Okay, so what we needed to do was to solve 3 pain points for you guys out there that are learning designers. How to help you with script writing, 3D animation, and handling languages. Let's start with script writing. Everyone here knows that writing a good learning script can be difficult. It can be really hard. If you add a branch script where there are multiple outcomes of the scenario, it's starting to get really complex, right? So one of the first things we did with WeAre was to solve the script writing process. So we go into WeAre, you choose your location where you want your story to take place, you add your characters to the scene, you place them in, and then you start writing your script. And you can easily just add new responses, in this case here, or new content, and you can branch them out in different scenarios, and you can build these stories and the different outcomes of the story based on the learner choices. And so that made it super easy for a scriptwriter, learning designer to create and write scripts for your learning course. And then we introduced Aiko, and Aiko will help you even more using AI. So one example is, hey Aiko, can you write a nested dialogue script on a man named Roger who works as a construction worker? He feels stressed by not having enough time to finish his work on schedule, and his coworker is pushing him to speed up. Roger is being insecure because he thinks he should use a safety harness for this job, but it will take time to get a hold of one. Write the dialogue between the 2 workers taking place at the construction site. Well, this is a typically case for the health, environment, and safety course. I think you will see, and I could use just a couple of seconds and she will give you this. Time crunch and safety concern, featuring Roger, the construction worker, and Mark, the coworker. The scene takes place at the construction site, and Roger is working on the scaffolding, visibly stressed. Roger, muttering to himself, oh, this deadline is killing me. I need more time. And Marco, hey, Rog, you're falling behind again. We got to pick up the pace. You can just take that, turn it into notes, go on the right corner of the screen, click play, and there you go.
This deadline is killing me. I need more time.
Hey, Roger! You're falling behind again. We gotta pick up the pace.
And the really cool part is you guys can start doing this right now. It's easy, and I will show you how. Also, when you write the script for your notes, for your course, Aiko, of course, will help you improve the writing. As you all know, I saw in the chat, a lot of you guys use Copilot, so we can make, like longer text, shorter text, change tone of voice, translate to another language, whatever you need. Aiko will help you with that as you go along and write your text. Okay, so also I can actually create the story for you if you like. So we can go into WeAre, you can create with Aiko, and Aiko pops up and start asking a couple of questions. What kind of story are you going to create? No, that's cool. Can you tell me a little bit about your story? What's it about? Can you say where it takes place? Please choose a location for this. What language you want to speak. Choose the character you want to have in the story. Choose their voices if you don't want to voice them yourself. And when Aiko gets this information, it will spit out the script just like this. And then you can say, oh, just animate it for me, please. And then it adds body language, gestures, facial expressions, voices, everything to it. And all you got to do is just to click play story.
Attention all learning and development professionals. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level?
And of course, you guys can go and edit anything freely. You can go into editing the script, the animations, the voices, all you can do, can edit really easy. Another thing is that this you see here, this is a PowerPoint presentation about cybersecurity awareness. And this is just any random PowerPoint, but you will recognize this, and you know that from your companies, you have a lot of these, and they are distributed around the company for different purposes. And like when they were often made with a person standing in front presenting them, but that person is gone. It's shipped through the LMS or the internet or wherever. So with WeAre, you can just go into WeAre. You can just upload your PowerPoint, your keynote presentation, PDF, whatever. You can give it a name. You can choose a language. You can choose like the setting again, and choose the presenter to present your PowerPoint. And when you've done that and just set it up, and you can give it a voice and everything, it will actually then go through the PowerPoint, put in animations, pull out the images, making a PowerPoint presentation live movie like this in a couple of seconds.
Cybersecurity Awareness Lead 1, Darren Tanai, emphasizes the importance of cybersecurity awareness.
And this makes, easy, makes things faster, as Mattias also spoke about. And we get a lot of feedback from our customers using WeAre, saying that these tools really help them create better, faster engaging learning content. And I have like a tease for you, because in a couple of weeks, we will launch a whole new way of interacting with WeAre Learning. I can give you some keywords. It's all about free speech for the learner, but at the same time, keeping the track of the desired pathways from the learning designer. It's really innovative, and we're looking so much forward to release it within September. Okay, so going over to 3D animations. When you are in a node, you can type any text, you can click animate, and you go in here in the timeline editor, as we call it, and you see the text already there, and you can just hit play and it will be animated for you.
We don't have all day for you to find some fancy harness or whatever you think will make everything perfect.
And then you can just go in, change the tone of voice or the voicing. You can add like body gestures, body language, facial expressions, and you can just simply drag and drop on the timeline. And suddenly, in a couple of seconds, you are the Pixar.
We don't have all day for you to find some fancy harness or whatever you think will make everything perfect.
And I promise you, you will going to love to sit here and create these cool animations for your learning content. And it's so easy and fast, and you can add images, you can add text graphics, everything you like to make explainer videos, etc. And talking about characters, these are some of the characters that our customers have when they come to us. Like they can be illustrators, they can be used for like personas, for different learning purposes inside the company, or you can have like work uniforms. And they want to transfer this into WeAre because personalization and get the recognition when you are a learner is super important to kind of be motivated and engage in the learning content. And here you see one of the really simplistic 2D illustrations from a customer turning into a live WeAre 3D character. Here we have Billy from Trygg Insurance Company. We have Anne-Marie Saxon. She is like having her own avatar. And this is a guy from Järnia, the hardware store. And finally here, Hafslund has some construction workers for their learning courses. And finally, the last one is about languages. And as I said, I worked with e-learning since 1998, and translations, handling languages has always been a bit of a drag. It's taking a lot of resources, a lot of time, and to be honest, everyone just hates them. With AI, everything has just become much easier.
Det å håndtere språk har blitt superenkelt. Avec l'aide de l'IA, on peut traduire du texte et de la parole en quelques secondes.
And you can choose from almost any language in the world.
So, I think that's enough said. Well, so finally, what do we call them? What do you actually create inside WeAre so that you can use it in Learnifier? Well, we call them stories, and we have two kinds of stories. We have what we call the linear story, and then we have the interactive story. The linear story is the outcome is a video file. So we can download any story you create as an MPEG file. That means that anywhere you can use a video file or upload a video file, you can use a linear story. For your LMS, inside Learnifier, in your internal communication platform, email, website, social media, whatever, explaining videos, whatnot. On the interact story, you get the URL. So everywhere you can paste the URL, you can actually share an interactive story. So what we've done with Learnifier, we have integrated inside Learnifier, so it beautifully just embeds directly in your Learnifier course. And then, of course, you can have it, and then the learner can interact with the story and take part in the story as you play them through. So what can you use it for? Well, you can create editorial content. You can create training content. You can do learning games. We have a game setting for this. You can do soft skills training. You can do explaining videos, social media, and more. And we have a mission, and we say that we are a mission that make anyone a content creation hero. We want every one of you guys to create immersive 3D learning content like scenarios, dilemma training, dialogues training, etc. So we put a lot of effort into creating a very easy and fun and engaging tool to use. And I think that's also why we were awarded the best authoring tool of 2024 by the EdTech Breakthrough Award. And we couldn't come here today to launch this partnership with Learnifier without giving you guys an exclusive offer. So we want to offer you an expert support to create your first interactive story for free. That includes a personalized workshop. We will go to your learning objectives and help you get going. Also, we will provide you hands-on assistance during your creation period. And of course, it's a bit of limitation to it. We can't help like hundreds, but if you're fast, please reach out and we will definitely give you a head start. So that's what all about I wanted to show you from WeAre, and I'm super excited to see what Diana can show us, how this all can be integrated into Learnifier. So Diana, are you ready?
I am. I just had to unmute myself. Hold on here. And there we go. So, hi everyone. My name is Diana, working at Learnifier. Been doing that as a customer success manager, and at the time being, I'm leading a team of excellent teammates who work at customer excellence. So my part is to do, which I like the most, is to show you how we can use WeAre in Learnifier. So I'm going to pretend that you're all participants. You are an employee at a retail sports shop. So we have created a course so you can be better at customer service and increase the sales. So that's the purpose of this course. So you're a participant, you are in my courses, you start and say, okay, now I got the time and I'm engaged. And with that said, as Lars-Petter and Mattias is talking about, to have participants to be engaged in all kind of courses is so important to how the outcome will be and the results will be in the end. So yes, there we go. So you start the course, you see the content, you see what's going on in the course, you start it up. And just to start at the beginning, you have different kind of contents. And so let's say that you are started up, you read something about different topics, and we have Learnifier, we have the WeAre, you have some material, reading material about alpine skis. Okay, so you're going to sell skis at the sports retail shop. And there's more text. And if you're interested, you can look at a video like a TED Talk. But now comes the part which I really, really care about so much, which is the interactivity part. This makes it more easier for the participant to actually be engaged and increase the engagement like along the way, because the text is quite static, as we all know. So by just pressing the open button, you will get to this. And this part, we see is, let's see, just one moment here.
Hey, I see you are looking around. Anything specific I can help you with?
Thanks. I'm looking for new alpine skis. Do you have any recommendations?
And here, as a participant, and Lars-Petter showed it as well, you can choose from the different suggestions based on perhaps something that you read ahead. So you hopefully knows the answer of it. But I just chose something, and you get
Well, I haven't done much slalom skiing
feedback,
before.
which is really interesting.
I guess you could say I'm quite a beginner.
Okay, nice.
And it keeps on. So you're letting the participant to be a part of their education, a strong feature that is embedded in Learnifier by WeAre, a really nice feature. And when you've gone through the interactivity part, we have some reading material, which is, in this case, still a static text. And to show you another part that Lars-Petter, you were talking about two different parts of WeAre. One was the interactivity part, which I've shown, but the other part is the more linear stories. And in this part in the course, you will be given an exam in the end. So here is the exam giver who tells you about the exam, that you are supposed to score like 4 out of 5 points to actually get a certificate in how you give the best customer service to your customers at a retail sports shop. And just press play and you listen to that. And we want to do that right now. And when you're done with that part, you're probably ready to hit the exam button. And I just want to show you, because of the theme that Mattias Borg was speaking about, in this case, we have an AI exam, which has been generated by AI, sorry. Okay, so when you're done with this, there's a last step. And this was the side of how you will see it as a participant. Perhaps many of you are working in Learnifier as an administrator, and perhaps you're thinking, how will I make this happen as an administrator? So I'm just quick going to show you how easy it is. So for those of you who haven't been working in Learnifier, just get the feeling of it and hang of it. So as an administrator, you just press the edit course. So this will be a really quick tour. We'll just say pass. And Lars-Petter was talking about the URL link, which is this one. So we just copy it. And this part, I just add a web link. And then we can say sports. I just add that one. And then it will appear here. So that is actually how easy it is to integrate interactive store in Learnifier. So just have the URL link and add it in Learnifier, and that's it. So the last thing I will mention is, let's see, here we are. How will you get access to this tool in Learnifier? So either if you're already a customer or partner of Learnifier, please reach out to support at Learnifier and we will help you out. We will happily look into the feature, how could it increase value for you, and we go on from there. And the other option that you have is to answer or reply the email that we will send out after today, and we will just contact you and let's see if we can make some extra magic. And just to get the whole package all together, I love that Mattias and Lars-Petter was talking about easy engagement and efficient, and this is like the best thing you can do to actually get all three of them in one package. So please reach out. We will be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. Time runs quite fast today, apparently. We have 2 minutes until this webinar has come to an end. I saw that there are a few questions in the chat. I'm not sure if we should dive into them. Let me see, 43, okay. Some of them have been answered. There's one about a SCORM package. Is WeAre a web-based software that you pay an extra license for as a Learnifier customer? Yeah, Anders answered exactly. It's a standalone product. I think we're gonna share the link to the WeAre website as well. I'm gonna send out a follow-up email with instructions as well for how to, or who to get in touch with if you're interested in the offer that Lars-Petter mentioned. And yeah, so check your spam folder for that email. It's sent out in my name, Ulrika Peyron, but it comes from a marketing@learnifier.com address. I just wanted to yet again show you that we have more inspiration, that the 2 webinars that we have in upcoming right now, the one that Mattias mentioned on the 12th of September, which is with Linnea Sjögren, that you have been chatting with, I guess, today, some of you. Both these webinars will be in Swedish. So for the Swedish speakers in the crowd here, or maybe those who understand Swedish, that's highly recommended. I will post those links in the follow-up email as well. And please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. And if you, I mean, we're constantly trying to understand the tech stack of our customers. So if you have any other partners or any other systems that you use that you think that we should partner up with for your learning processes to be even more easier, please let us know. Thanks for today. It's 9:45. It was sweaty today. Sometimes we have more time for questions, but time management is tricky. And I just want to thank you so much, WeAre Learning, for showing this immersive tool that you have as well. Don't be strangers. We'll talk soon again. How do you?
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.